I'm asking everyone what is meant by parasummary.
So to get the main idea of the passage, I
To
mean,
get the main idea of the passage. Okay,
jotting down the whole passage into few sentences by which we can get the whole idea.
correct. Absolutely correct. See, I know everybody is aware of what does it mean by. I'm deliberately asking this. And I want to make you understand one thing. Uh, okay, I'm just giving you a general scenario. Tell me, if I talk about any movie director or not director, movie writer. So what do you say? The first thing is to write down the script of the movie. First, the script is written or the title is given first. What is the first act? The script or the title of the movie?
So script.
I'm asking everyone. Rushabh, Preeti,
Script, sir.
Nandini. Correct.
I think it's a script. Yeah.
First, right. First, a story, a thought comes in mind, then it becomes, it takes a form of a story, then it is written properly, it becomes a script. And later, based on the script, based on the crucial aspects of that script, the title is derived. Correct? So, what I was trying to explain, wherever you come across any new topic, if you want to understand anything, so focus on the title. Understand what the title is trying to say. Here it is saying para represents paragraph. Summary means summarized version. That's it. Right. So we will begin the session. But actually, I was reading something today and I came across a very beautiful quote and I thought, let's just include this. So the quote is, one cannot collect all the beautiful shells on the beach. Can you tell me your interpretations with this? It is written by Annie Morrow Lindbergh, and she was an American author. Anyone? Can you tell me your interpretations by this quote?
So my first perspective after reading this is we cannot have all the good things in life. I mean, all things. I mean, everything in a good perspective.
Okay.
I
Anyone
think it
else?
contradicts the summary. It means that we can't comprehend all the details of the paragraph or something like that.
And see, this particular quote is not related to specifically our subject. This is in general. I was just reading something and I came across and I thought let's include it. It has no
It
connection with the topic.
it can also mean that one cannot collect all the beautiful shells. Like if you're collecting, there will be shells that are not so beautiful, and you will also collect that. So it cannot always be positive. It, it is sort of a mix of everything.
Yeah, it can be related to in all the aspects. It's correct. So basically, what does it mean by that? We as a human being try to chase all the good things around us, but the nature has some certain rules, and one of those rules is that every beautiful things cannot be collected by a person at the same time. So सारी चीजें एक ही टाइम पर मिल जाएं, this is not possible, this is not in nature. So we should focus on the things which we have around us, the best things. Anyways, let's begin with the topic. So here one story is written. Please go through it and tell me what do you mean by this, and if you can relate with this, let me know. कहीं कुछ पढ़ा हुआ सा लग रहा है, सुना हुआ सा लग रहा है, this particular passage.
Yes, sir. From Three Idiots movie, maybe.
Okay, I believe everybody has watched this movie, right? Is there anyone who hasn't watched yet? Yes, Alan has written correctly. Enjoy the beauty of what you have. Correct. That was related to quote. Anyways, so guys, what this story is all about? Can you please tell me? Hello. You're not audible. This is an extract from where? Like any novel, any book, news headline, or any movie, or what?
Seems like a script from the movie of Three Idiots.
Correct. This is actually an extract from the movie Three Idiots. So here, one passage is written, and I have taken this passage deliberately to make you understand it, very detailed manner. कुछ ऐसा bookish सा नहीं होना चाहिए. This is what I believe. Everything should be very practical as it can be. So I have taken this, and if I ask you to summarize this passage into 3-4 lines, what it would be, and this is what exactly questions want. The question, the requirement of the question is this. So in the exam also, you will get a passage like this, not this lengthy. It would be of 6-7 lines, and later you will be having one question followed by 4-5 options. You are supposed to find out the best option that captures every single detail, every essential detail of the passage. So according to you, what should be the best summarized version? Please write in chat box. Everybody has to write it. Take your time, 1, 2, 3 minutes, but until everybody answers, I won't proceed further. So why I'm asking you to write? Because I'll be showing you what should be the best version of this, best summarized version of this passage, and later you can compare it. I got a new word here. The word is juxtapose. Means to compare two or more things. Please type in chat box whatever your answer is. Okay, Yash is saying you can give your 100% in passion, or passion is greater than one thing, other thing. Okay, it's never too late to follow your passion. Okay. If you are writing the summarized version, and later when I'll discuss it, you can exactly know what is the requirement of para summary type of questions in examination. That's why I'm asking you to write it down. And it's not about being right or wrong. Your answer is always right. Whatever you're writing now, it's based on your previous knowledge. So it is not wrong. Whatever comes in your mind, logically, just write it down. Nobody is going to judge you. People should follow their passion, not necessarily follow the social norms. Okay. Identify your true passion and follow it with the hard work and self-confidence, and you will succeed just like Raju and Farhan. Okay. Never let go. Okay, great. College life, friendship, very good, Nandini. Figuring out their individual passion and careers. Scared to tell that out to our parents. Okay. Finally, taking an extreme step to realize that it is easy until it was done. Great. We have only one life. Live it without fear of losing in life. Very good. It's very appreciable thing that everybody is trying, and this is the only thing I require here. That's it. Great. So if you are done, shall we discuss the passage? Okay, only one question I have. So whatever you wrote here, that was completely based on the information which is given here on your screen, or something you have added from your perspective also? Please answer. Priyanka's answer is the right thing reaches you when you not only dream for it, but also you put some effort to achieve it. Okay. Great. So my question is, whatever you wrote there as a summarized version of this passage, did you figure it out, whatever is given in the passage, that was the extraction or summarized version, or something you added from your own point of view also? This is my one question, and please answer it honestly. You will get insights from this conversation. Everybody, please answer. Ashna, Tanya. And one more question I have. Whatever you have written, just read that again. Is that the summarized version, or is that a conclusion that you have written? Please answer me this. Is that the summary or the conclusion that you have written? Priyanka, Kuntal. Conclusion, conclusion, conclusion. So everybody is answering now that it is a conclusion. And you are absolutely correct. So what you wrote was absolutely correct, relevant to the passage, but it is more of, a conclusion, not the summarized version. Now let me tell you what should the summarized version should be. And again, it's not about being right or wrong. So it starts from one night in their 4th year of college. Rancho tells his friends why they consistently place last, right? So here, basically, if you see about college life, things are discussed, and one friend is discussing his reasons for failure to the other friend. Farhan's passion is photography, not engineering, and Raju lacks self-confidence. So they are disclosing their fears, right? That means a strong bond is there. After Farhan and Raju promise to confront their problems, if Rancho confesses his feelings to Pia, the three of them drunkenly break into Virus's house, and while accelerating, Farhan and Raju drunkenly urinate on his letterbox. Correct. So here, these 3 lines are talking about an incident which was not supposed to be done. Reckless behavior, you can say. Virus notices Raju and threatens to rusticate him unless he witnesses against Rancho. Not willing to disappoint his family and betray his friends, Raju attempts suicide but survives, leading Virus to revoke expulsion. So here it is talking about one very, serious incident that happened in one person's life. Raju recovers thanks to the support and care of his family and friends. Raju is successful in a job interview, while Farhan convinces his father to let him become a photographer, right? So here I'm telling you what should exactly the right version of this summarized version of this passage. So one is this, and the other is this. I have written two versions of the summarized. I have written two summarized versions of the passage. So one is in their final college, Rancho tells his friends Farhan and Raju they rank last because he prefers photography and he lacks confidence. The other one, and later. So this is one way of writing the same thing. And if you notice, it is covering all the aspects, like the friendship thing, then the weakness of friends, one mishappening there. That means that accident, what they not accident actually, that happened later. That reckless behavior, and later one mishappening also. Then they recovers. He recovers, land a job, and everything went well. The other version can be the same thing, but in different words. In their college years, Rancho confronts his friends Farhan and Raju about their academic struggles due to Farhan's passion for photography and Raju's lack of confidence. Both friends find success, Raju in a job interview and Farhan pursuing in photography dream. So please answer me what you wrote here, and what you came across now. Did you figure out that what you wrote was a more of a conclusion, not a summarized version? And here what you see is exactly the summarized version, which is capturing all the aspects. Everyone, please answer me. Clear? Very good. Amazing. So now let us have look on some aspects that what you are supposed to do when you're solving these questions. One thing in CAT exams, para summary will give you around 9 to 10 marks of weightage, which is usually 20% of the overall score in verbal part. So what you are supposed to do when you are solving these questions, first thing, identify the main subject. So guys, can you please tell me what was the main subject here? Please type in chat box. What was the main subject here? Confronting fears, dream or goals. Okay. Confronting Raju and Rancho. Farhan confronting Raju and Rancho. Great. It talks about a bond of three friends. Correct. Aspiring your dreams. So these all are the aspects, right? Not only struggle what they have, not only the bond they had, not only what they chased, not only what they did at last or what they got at last. All of these are the main subjects here. Okay, because the details was given in this way. The other thing is link the key ideas. Okay, so we will talk about all the aspects one by one. Don't worry. Third step is to write down the summary in your own words. Initially for 30-40 questions you have to do this, and later you will be having this idea that what is exactly supposed to be done in the examination. And the last is very, very, very important. You should not answer any question without going on this step, right? Select the relevant answer option. That means rule out or eliminate the irrelevant option. Rule out the irrelevant option. So basically, I say this POE, that means process of elimination. That's it. So 4 steps are: find out the subject, then key idea, summarized version, find it out, and then E means elimination. So SISE, you can just make a mnemonic of the same. Subject, main subject, key idea, summarized version. Try to make your own summarized version, and later elimination. That's it. So shall we begin with questions? Please answer. Great. Just 1 second. Okay. So here is one passage. I want you to figure it out what the passage is talking about, and later I'll give you 5 options also. Okay, let's do one thing. Let us solve this question. Here it is. And it is a real CAT question. I think in 2021 exam. Go through it and tell me what is your answer here. Later we will discuss all the aspects. You can type your answers in chat box, and later we will discuss all the aspects. It says North American walnut wings moth caterpillars look like easy meals for birds, but they have a trick up their sleeves. They produce whistles that sounds like bird alarm calls, scaring potential predators away. At first, scientists suspected birds were simply startled by the loud noise, but a new study suggests a more sophisticated mechanism. The caterpillar's whistle appears to be to mimic a bird alarm call, sending avian predators scrambling for cover. When pecked by a bird, the caterpillars whistle by compressing their bodies like an accordion and forcing air through specialized holes in their sides. The whistles are impressively loud. They have been measured at over 50 decibel from 5 centimeter away from the caterpillar, considering they are made by a 2-inch long insect. So what's your correct answer here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, not 5. Only 4 options are there. Great. So let's do one thing. What is the main subject? Then key idea. Third step is summarize it in your own words. And the last option is process of elimination. Correct? Let's begin the subject. What is the subject here? You can speak. What is the main subject that we are talking about?
North American walnut spring caterpillars.
Is it the main subject, or is it one activity about the subject, like something related to this?
Defense mechanism of caterpillars. Space moth caterpillars.
So it's about
Yeah. Go on.
it's about the moth caterpillar's whistle sound, and how that, like how they produce that sound, and then save themselves from themselves from getting consumed by a bird.
Great.
It could be deceptive defense mechanism of North American walnut springs caterpillars.
Correct. Who had answered the first? I just missed the name because the spotlight was on me. That's why. Who had answered the first? Tanya?
Okay, the first one I did.
Okay. Yeah, so that was absolutely correct. But here we have to understand the subtlety here. Are we talking about this particular creature, or are we talking about some activity related to the creature? So why do I'm asking you every single detail? So that you can make your, you can focus on these subtle points. So yes, we are talking about the caterpillar, but the main subject is the mechanism that the bird is using, right? So every answer is absolutely correct. Now, subject is discussed. Idea is also discussed indirectly because we are talking about the mechanism, process, which we have already gone through. Summarized version, let's skip it and follow the fourth option now. This the elimination method, right? So what are the two options that can be ruled out without any problem here? The two options. Can we rule out the first one? It says, now you see in examination, now you do not need to read the entire line. We are talking about one caterpillar only. This entire information is of no use now. We are talking about one caterpillar. We do not know what it is, where it is, but the activities are important for us. So the caterpillar will whistle periodically, ward off predator birds. They have a specialized vocal tract that helps them whistle. So yes, this aspect is mentioned in the passage, but this is not the only aspect of the passage, correct? Can we rule it out?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This is not the only information. This is one of the informations there, right? So this can be ruled out. We can eliminate that. Second option is saying North American. Again, I should not read the entire thing. We can skip the first part. It says caterpillar can whistle very loudly. The loudness of the whistles is shocking as they are very small insects. Yes, it is true. It is mentioned in the passage that the size is only 5 centimeter, but the sound is going, the distance it is carrying around 50 decibel. It is a very good distance according to the size of the bird. But again, this is not the only aspect which is mentioned in the passage. That's why we can rule it out. Third option is saying the caterpillar, in case of an acoustic deception, produce whistle that mimic bird alarm calls to defend themselves. So yes, it is talking about something which is very essential in the passage. We will hold it out. We cannot finalize it as a right answer. Why? Because one more option is still left there. North America, again, my bad. I should not read this. You should also not read this. Even if you see any name of any person which is difficult to pronounce, skip it. Just make it Mr. XYZ, won't make any difference. So caterpillars, in a case of deception and camouflage, produces whistle that mimic bird alarm calls to defend themselves. So why not fourth option, third or fourth, which is the best one?
Third seems better
Better, but why?
because in fourth it is mentioning in a case of deception and camouflage. So camouflage is basically blending into your environment. So it's not like doing that. It's basically decept. It's a case of deception by making an alarm call.
Okay, great. Any other answer?
Camouflage is not mentioned in the passage specifically, so we can
Mhm.
rule out the option.
Correct. So two answers that you gave is absolutely correct, because in option we have some information which is not in the passage. So that is additional information we should not consider. Although one aspect is absolutely correct, that they use this deception to defend themselves. But third option is actually capturing the best. So I believe you have understood the requirement of these questions and what you're supposed to do in this. So previously, when I showed you the first passage, when I showed you that, what you answered, that was a conclusion. That was not the summarized version. So please, I think now this point is clear to you. If this is clear to you, question number 1, so you will write in chat box Q1 clear. And Q1 clear means all the aspects that I have discussed so far is clear.
Sir, could you please tell how we have ruled out option second?
Second one, because
Yes.
it is focusing only the loudness and the size of the bird is small. So it is capturing on the, it is not talking about the deception or the mechanism that they use. It is talking about a surprising factor that a small creature and the so big act,
Okay.
right? And let me tell you, it is a very good question. Let me explain you that in the passage where it should be noticed. Let me tell you. See, here it says, it whistles sound like bird alarm calls, correct? Scaring potential predators away. Then, at first, this is the important part. Scientists suspected birds were simply startled by the loud noise, but a new study suggests a more sophisticated mechanism, and the mechanism is given further. So, why the study part is discussed in the passage? Study is focusing on the what was observed previously, and later something else came out. Understood? I believe everybody is clear with this.
Yes, sir.
Did you feel bored? Did you enjoy the passage?
Yes, sir. Right.
Now, let me give you one more surprise here. See, this is the passage. The language of the passage was easy or difficult? Tell me your opinion. You can type in chat box, easy or difficult. It would be easy for me. The language of the passage, only passage, was easy or difficult? Great. It's very amazing thing to see. If in case if you find it difficult to understand, so here is the easiest version, right? So this is the CAT exam question, the same language, but here is the simplified version. Okay, is the simplified version. So the main hurdle is only to decode the language. That's it. North American walnut sphinx mode, the same thing. Caterpillars look like easy meals for bird, may seem like easy snack for birds, and they have a clever way to. Sorry, I have just replaced it. Wait. Yeah, this is the simplified version. This is the simplified version, and this was the CAT question. Okay, so the difficulty level is not actually difficult. It's very normal. Great. Let's proceed on the Next question. Everything is given here. You can read the uh, passage later in the PDF and you will get understanding, all the understanding here. Great. So we have one more passage. Now we will discuss all the aspects one by one. First, we will start with the subject. Later, we will talk about the key ideas, then elimination. Go on. And you have to write down now the subject, then the key idea. Key idea is basically the crucial aspect. Your answers, I'm waiting for your answers and you have to type in chat box. First, tell the subject and then the key ideas. Do you have clarity about key ideas or not? Key ideas are basically the aspects which are discussed here. Like in the previous passage, the subject was the caterpillar basically, but more focus was on the deceptive activities. And the key ideas was about the study. Previously, something else was observed, later something else came out, and some other facts. Okay, Ashna has answered. Shall we discuss? Both Socrates and Bacon were very good at asking useful questions. In fact, Socrates is largely credited with coming up with a way of asking questions, and it is called Socratic method, which itself is at the core of the scientific method popularized by Bacon. The Socratic method disapproves. Now, about the method, some information is provided there. The method disapproves arguments by finding exceptions to them and can therefore lead your opponent to a point where they admit something that contradicts their original position. In common with Socrates, Bacon stressed it was as important to disapprove a theory as it was to prove one. And real-world observation and experimentation were key to achieving both aims. So Bacon also saw science as a collaborative affair with scientific working together, challenging each other. Okay, so let us see what should be the main subject here. It focuses on actually evaluation, the questioning approaches of Socrates and the other person. Also highlights their emphasis on inquiry and critical thinking. This is the subject. The main subject was not only the method, it was not only the two people, both. Key ideas were that Socrates devised one method, aiming, what was the aim? To disapprove argument by finding exceptions. Second aspect is the other person emphasized disapproving theory by utilizing real world observations and experimentations in science. That means he said that yes, if you want to disapprove, it should be based on the practical things, pragmatic things. So I just came across two new words. One was juxtapose. You should write down separately on a separate page. The other word is pragmatic. I'll explain you what does it mean by. Okay. Third aspect is Socrates and Bacon promoted collaboration among scientists to challenge and refine ideas. Very good. Here are the four options. Go on and tell me what should be your. Type your answers in chat box. Okay. If we have to eliminate two options, what they would be? At least two options. We have to follow the process of elimination. We cannot escape it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all the options are opted now. Both Socrates and Bacon advocated clever questioning of the opponents to disapprove their arguments and theories. Is it the main? Sorry, can we rule out this option, or we can consider it?
We can rule this out.
The reason why should we rule out this?
Because it is based on the clever questioning of the opponents, but it's not about the questioning, it's about finding exceptions to the arguments. So there's a difference between them.
Correct. So in this option, the point of view that Socrates have is not given, correct? And Socrates did not prefer this method. So we can rule it out.
Yes.
Second option. So second option, both the people advocated challenging arguments and theories by observation and experimentation. Is it also true or not? Again, this was one person's idea, not both. We can rule it
Yes.
out. Third, both Socrates and Bacon advocated conforming arguments and theories by finding exceptions.
This can be
Can
the
we consider
answer.
it? Basically, I just considered because we should have at least two options. Now, if you compare third and the fourth one, which is the best one? The best option. They,
Fourth is better as because it is
yes,
about examining, and the third is about confirming. So examining कर रहे हैं हम ज़्यादा.
yes. So, if you compare, let me just ask everyone. Alan, Shankar, Sanket, Yash, please answer. The better option according to you here, third or fourth?
Sir, fourth.
Definitely. Yeah, because it is talking about examining the methods and strategies. So better option here is the fourth one. So you find it difficult or easy, like this, solving these questions? I guess you are enjoying it, not getting bored. Although sometimes verbal is very boring.
No, sir, this is very enjoyable.
Thank you. So let's proceed on the next passage. Go on. Again. Okay, everybody, first of all, write down the mnemonic there in chat box. The methods that we are following here to solve these questions. SISE, and what it stands for?
Subject, idea, summarize and eliminate.
Correct. Please go on, take your time, write down the subject, the key ideas here in the passage, and later we will eliminate options and we'll discuss further. Done? Okay, so what is the subject here? Please write in chat box. A fundamental property of language is that it is slippery and messy and more liquid than solid. So overall, the crux is it is slippery. It is very much flexible when it comes to the usage. Okay, the other is a gelatinous mass that changes shape to fit. So we are talking about the liquid part. As Wittgenstein would remind us, usage has no sharp boundary. Oftentimes, the only way to determine the meaning of a word is to examining how it is used. Great. This insight is often described as the meaning is use doctrine. That means it is one philosophy saying, as of now, what I feel, it is talking about one aspect that meaning is the only use. There are differences between meaning is use doctrine and a dictionary first theory of meaning. The dictionary is careful fixing of words to definitions, but like butterflies pinned under the glass, can suggest that this is how language works. And the definition can seem to ensure the fix the meaning of words, just as gold standards can back a country's currency, right? What the other person found in the circulation of the uh, ordinary language, it is the same person. However, was a free floating currency of meaning. The value of each word arises out of exchange. The lexicographer is a person who compiles the dictionary, abstracts a meaning from that exchange, which is then set within the conventions of the dictionary definitions. Okay. So key idea is meaning of words can be made out of how it is used. So basically, if I summarize this line, Priya, do you really mean that when it comes to words, the context of usage is more important than the fixed meaning which is given in the dictionary? Is it the same thing, Priya?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Lack of boundaries of language presided by a derivation of fixed meaning. Very good. So let us see the key idea here. It is the passage focuses on the flexible nature of the language and emphasizing that meaning is derived from the usage rather than fixed definition. So ultimately, the more important thing is the context and usage, not the meaning or the word. Key ideas that it adapts according to the context. There is a person who has given this definition like meaning in use doctrine. His philosophy is this, and it suggests that meaning comes from the usages. This particular philosophy contradicts with the other ideology. That's it. Okay. So here are 4 options. Proceed with them. Tell me your answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we will eliminate at least 2 options first. Tell me. What are the 2 options we can rule out? First, dictionary definitions are gold standards, artificial, theoretical, and dogmatic. Actual meaning of the words is their free exchange value. Third is we can rule out a yes. Third is what we can rule out or we can consider.
Sir, consider.
Okay, so let's explore all the options we have to. First one can be considered or we can rule it out. The first one.
Sir, we can rule it out because it's only contain a few things of this passage, I think.
Okay. Any other answer? See, just tell me whatever comes in your mind. That discussion is important.
I think we can rule it out because it is giving derivations like artificial, theoretical, and dogmatic, which is not even mentioned in the passage. So it's giving a bit of extra information.
How many of you know the meaning of the word dogmatic?
It's extreme form of something.
Yes, in fact, we use this word for a person if the person has attitude कि भाई जैसे बोला है बस वैसे ही करो. Don't use your mind. So the person is dogmatic. Actually, it should not be considered because the passage is focusing on 2 aspects. The author is focusing on two aspects. Anyways, dictionary definitions are gold standards, artificial and theoreticals, dogmatic. Actual meaning of words is their free exchange value. Even though this option is trying to convey things in a metaphorical way, but it is not very much suitable. We can rule it out. Language is already slippery. Given this, accounting for meaning and use will only exacerbate the problem. And that is why lexicographers fix meaning. No, this is type of a suggestion, right? Isn't it a type of a suggestion of a problem? Do you think so?
I think,
So we
yeah, exactly.
can,
That problem is not even mentioned there. Sorry to interrupt.
yes, of language, one scenario about the language is just discussed. This is not asking a question, or it is not a problem, and not a solution is asked. So we can eliminate first and the second option. Third is meaning is dynamic, definitions are static. The meaning in use theory helps us understand the definition of words are culled from the meaning in exchange and use, and not vice versa. Can we consider the third option? It is a very good choice. Because here, both the aspects are discussed. The definitions are static, meanings are dynamic. Dynamic means meaning can change. We are considering the third option. We are not opting it. We are not finalizing it. Why? Because one more option is left. So fourth option is the meaning of the words in dictionaries is clear, fixed, and less dangerous and ambiguous than the meaning that arises when words are exchanged between people. So this option is being a bit extreme, although somewhere it is conveying that words meaning can get changed based on the usage, but the language is a very vague. So here, the best answer we can have is the third option. Is this clear to everyone? If yes, then everybody will write in chat box Q3 clear. Q3 clear. This is a sign that gives me clarity that what I was trying to explain is done. Great. So now everybody please turn on the camera. This was the last question for now. I'll give you a few questions in homework, work on that. And in the next session, we will begin from these questions only. Okay, so everyone, tell me what was your experience about this session, this topic, and if you have any query, you can ask. This is for everyone. Rishabh, any query? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Paridhi?
Sir, session was fantastic, but अब ट्यूशन प्रैक्टिकल करने पे आते हैं, लाइक टेस्ट वगैरह देते हैं ना, तो इतने क्वेश्चन ठीक नहीं हो पाते जितने क्लासेस में होते हैं. एनी रीजन बिहाइंड इट?
See, we are just starting now. जब if you attempt a mock test, तो वो ना माइंड अलग तरीके से काम करता है, प्रेशर होता है, टाइम लिमिट होती है. अभी वो टाइम फैक्टर यहाँ पर नहीं था. But if I give you the same questions within the time frame, then again the same problem will happen. So write down all the points. अगर किसी एक स्टूडेंट का कुछ क्वेरी है ना, तो वो समवेयर आपके माइंड में होगा, डेफिनेटली होगा. ठीक है, but sometimes you don't ask. So whatever new point comes across like this question कि अभी तो हो जाता है, but when it comes to a real exam और mock test तो problem होती है. तो उसका रीजन ये भी है. और फिर क्या चीजों पे फोकस करना है ये आपके पास है, right? Nandini, any query?
So no. So what I felt in today's session was the first two paragraphs that we were doing. I felt those paragraphs were somewhat relatable and interesting. But in my case personally, what I feel that when I have to read about something that I've never read, like some philosophy, some topic about philosophy or psychology, the last one that we had, I feel in those topic I'm just reading it, but I'm not reading it enough to understand and then interpret it or take ideas out of it. So those type of passages takes a lot for me to like understand and then execute for the answer. So I don't know like how do I improve on that area.
Okay. Tell me on a daily basis out of 24 hours, how many minutes you give to reading?
So sorry.
I'm asking out of 24 hours, how many minutes do you give to reading? Just to read
Sir,
anything.
yeah, I read like some financial posts. Like it's mostly work 9 to 6, or it gets extended. So it's mostly about in the field I'm working, and the newsletter that comes from my office about how the company has performed, what they've achieved. So on daily basis, this is what happens.
Okay. So that is basically one particular domain that you read, right? Frequent, there would be some frequent words. So that is one particular domain, like economy or finance, one domain. But in the passage, in the exam, you can get passages from history, from science tech. So you have to diversify the field. And this is the same problem. If I give you any text which is of economics, just mute yourself, Nandini. If I give you any passage from economics or finance, business, that would be easy to understand. This problem is happening only for a few genre. This is what I believe. Is it true?
Yes, sir.
So it will take time. You have to increase the time. You have to give more time to read different text, different. You can start with newspaper. You can start with any novel that. It says in modern society, violence often arises from myths, which aren't always explicitly religious. The Jacobin terror during the French Revolution aimed to establish a modern state, resulting in hundreds of thousands of casualties, including the violent suppression of the Vendée peasant revolt. So it is talking about some type of revolts or activities which were done previously in the modern history. Anarchist campaigns of assassinations were driven by secular myths of social transformation. So it talks about one more category. Lenin explicitly followed the Jacobin example by utilizing the Cheka to create the modern state in Russia. Nazism and Fascism set themselves apart from conventional primaries by believing in shaping the new society through systematic terror. Violent jihadism shares more similarities with these modern totalitarian movements than commonly believed. Please go through it. And again, one more point that we have already discussed many times, that when it comes to para summary, see, in the reading comprehension part, I myself have told you to skim it. That means to just figure it out what is the most important aspects. But in para summary questions, you should not skip even a single word. So you have to read every single line very carefully. Take your time. Just write down the main subject of the passage and then what should be the key ideas discussed here. And later we will talk about the right answer. Take your time. Everybody, please type your answers in chat box. So you are typing the right answer actually. Who can explain me the question? What it is talking about?
Sir, sir, do you want like a short summary?
First, what is exactly the main subject is. Later, the key ideas which are discussed, and then answer.
Sir, I guess the main sub. Yeah.
Go on, go on.
Sir, I guess the main subject paragraph is the paragraph is trying to emphasize on the fact that violence does not always arise due to religious reasons, and it could be arising mostly out of the idea of a change in society or bringing a better society. So that's what the paragraph talks about. It provides us with examples that show that most of the violence is caused because of the idea of a new society or a better society rather than due to religious reasons. So with various examples, that's what the paragraph is trying to explain us. And I guess in the ending, that's what the paragraph emphasizes, that violent jihadism is also more inclined towards the promise of a new society than what is commonly believed. and then religious reasons. Like, I guess that's what it's trying to say.
Correct. Very good. Anybody else?
Sir, I believe the idea of the paragraph is trying to tell us how a positive movement is used for a negative aspect, like the positive way of doing something is exploited for doing something negative.
Anyone else?
Sir, it is basically saying that how the role of terror in transforming a society.
The role of terror in transformation of the society, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Niyati.
Sir, the thoughts of transformation was dangerous for the society, I think.
Okay, it's dangerous. So again, you are talking about a summarized version, or you're saying what did you say just right now? It more of a conclusion.
Yes sir, इस conclusion because most of the part तो सर इसका example दिया हुआ है तो उसको तो
But we
summarize
are
करना
not talking about a conclusion right now, right?
okay sorry sir
We need a summarized versions. Just make it simple. अलग से कुछ भी नहीं करना है. Whatever information is given there, that's it. Yes, Niyati, you wanted to say something?
Yes, sir, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. So actually, in this particular paragraph, what I feel is that in this it is like mentioned that everything comes from one sort of myth or one sort of perception that is like that might not be true, but that's what they are following. I mean, that might not be the religious one, but that's what they believe. Like for example, in this the first, like the second line, it is given that the Jacobin terror, this French Revolution thing, that what they did was they had a violent suppression while their aim was to build a modern state. They might thought that it would build a modern state, but the result of their thinking turned into a suppression of a lower class or a peasant. And in second example, it is given the anarchy when there is no like there when there was no government or anything, there was a assassination, there was a killing of like there was a lot of killing that was being going on, so that was also a kind of myth. Then the Lenin, they actually followed the Jacobin, which is given in the first second line, the example. So they are following the Lenin is following the Jacobin example, that they will create also a modern state. Like, it is a myth, it is a kind of maybe interlink of a myth that is being formed. Like, they are feeling that the things can be done in this way. It's their perception, but it is a myth.
So you said they are feeling. Who are they?
I mean, they, in a sense, like the entire thing that is being formed, like the Jacobin terror, for example, during French Revolution. So whoever would be the part of this particular enforcement thing, so they are the like actual, I would say, enforcement people who are doing it, I must say.
Okay, no issues. Yes, to an extent, what you said is correct. But let us make it simple. So if I break down the entire passage, can I say that the first line that I'm highlighting with the yellow color is just an opinion which is kept before you by the author? This is just
Yes.
author's opinion. Please answer me
Yes.
yes or no.
yes sir yeah
Now, I'm just breaking down what details are given. वो एक अलग चीज है, but please understand what I'm saying. To give validation to his opinion, he has given you two examples. One is of Jacobin situation that happened in French Revolution, and the other is for Russia. Sorry, this is of Russia only, and then it somewhere shows takes a reference from the same type of event which happened in the Germany, Nazism and Fascism. correct? And later, the word is used jihadism. So first situation is that the author has given his opinion. Later, to support his opinion or to validate his opinion, he has given two examples. Later, Nazism and Fascism is also introduced, and at last, it shows that how jihadism it shows what similarities in jihadism are there in terms of the modern movements. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Right? So let us say what are the two options that we can rule it out. First, violent jihadism is justified on the secular myth of social transformation rather than the idea of religious apocalypse. What do you say?
Sir, we
Yes,
can
Sir, we
rule it
can
We
rule
can
out
rule this
because
out.
it's very narrow, sir.
It's being very extreme, correct?
Yeah.
The second option, can I say the myth of social transformation has underpinned many totalitarian movements in modern history and violent jihadism too exploits this?
out. Yes, sir.
Possible
I
answer.
We can rule it, sir.
Yes, sir, we can consider it.
It is a good choice, yeah. Although it is believed that violence is fueled by religion, it is believed, but I don't think so. In the passage, this aspect is discussed. The reality is that it is unleashed on the premise of the creation of a modern state. What do you say? Shall we consider this option?
Sir, we can consider
To a
it,
point, to a
but the
point,
second
but
one
very
is a
less.
better choice.
Okay. The fourth one, the modern history illustrates that it is a myth that societies can be transformed by the systematic use of terror.
So it
Sir, we
can be
can rule it out.
Rule it out.
So out of the second and third one, the best option that you
Sir,
can
the second one.
the second one.
The second one.
Second one.
everyone, please type in the chat box. Second and the third. Yes. So the better choice we have here is the second option. Ashna, what's your opinion on this?
I think yes, the second one is the better option. As when I was trying to conclude earlier, the point is that only that how the justification of violence is arising in the modern history on the basis of social transformation, which is a myth in itself. So yeah.
Yeah. And this is one suggestion to everyone. Whenever you are finalizing an answer, make sure you figure it out whether it's a conclusion or it is a summary. Because usually we get, instead of finding out the summarized version, we conclude things. This is our mindset in every aspect. So this happens with us everywhere. If we have a situation or if we see a situation, if we see a person in a situation, we actually try to conclude things. So वो अपने आप होता है, and this is where you have to take a pause. Okay, let's proceed further.
Sir, I had a question.
Yeah.
Sir, on to the previous slide. Yes, sir, this one. So sir, this one is saying that violence, it was also because of the myths, but not always because of the religious ones. But sir, I don't think that we can rule out the third one, because third one is also saying it is believed that it is often fueled by religion. But the main problem comes up when anybody tries to establish a modern state, because when anybody tries to establish or changes a thing, that is revolt, hence violence. So I don't think I wasn't agreeing on this point to you on removing point 3, sir, actually. I don't know where have I gotten it wrong.
Okay,
Because-
so
sorry.
no, go on.
Yes, sir. So that is what I was saying, that what I understood from the para was that often it is known to us that it is because of religion, but this line doesn't anywhere puts on that what you know is false. It was because of this. It is saying that it was not only because of religious, it was also because when you're trying to establish a new thing, the people who are already in the previous state, they try and revolt. And when they revolt, there is violence. And then they've stated that how when they try to put a modern state in Russia, and then whenever a new thing is set, and all the examples of the violent cases that have been in the history. So I think point 3 was summarizing it. I don't know why was it ruled out.
So if you compare the second and the third one, the best option that you find is the second or the third.
I mean, from the two, second one is also a good option, but it is not talking about how it is solely put on religion. And I mean, the myth of social transformation is not the right word that they should have used. I think the second one is just making it more confusing, and third one is a bit more clear. I don't know.
So I think the third one is actually contradicting the first line that is being said, because the third line is saying,
Violence often arises. So
yeah,
here it says often arises.
So, sir, the third one is basically ruling out the idea that violence arises from religion.
yeah,
It says it is believed.
Yes, sir. And the
So,
following line is which aren't always explicitly religious. So what we currently believe is the all the violences held in the past were because of religion. So that is what the author has given us as a suggestion, that it is believed that violence was because of religion, but it is not. That is what
yeah, in
sir,
the
but
passage, it is provided that it is believed that violence is because of religion, but it's not always because of religion. So he's not ruling out the idea that violence could be caused because of religion. But in the third option, it's basically completely ruling out the idea of violence being caused by religion. It's just saying that it is not caused by religion. It is instead caused on the idea of modern state. So it's basically denying the fact that the author is saying in the paragraph.
exactly, the third option is what I'm saying is the third option is actually kind of contradicting the whole paragraph.
And also, we're not talking about creation of a modern state. It's rather social transformation which needs not to be modern, a creation of
Yeah,
modern state every time.
Apocalyptic myths doesn't particularly emphasize modern state or anything like that, I guess. It just emphasizes on the fact that the current way is like there's something wrong with it, so they need to change it, I guess.
Hmm.
See, one thing I'm very happy to see that the active participation, and this is actually the requirement of these sessions. So when you all put your opinions, and then the mindset is evaluated. So basically, I'm very happy to see this. Shubkirti, please tell me. I believe you got your answer.
Sir, I think I'll just have a -1 then.
That's absolutely okay because this will happen, and these are actually the traps. See, this one single word often, and although it is believed, these are the only words which are playing here. So we
Yes, sir,
have
I
to be
got
very
caught
clear.
between these only.
Okay, I believe it is clear now. Let's proceed further.
you.
So here is the passage number 1 for the day. Please go through it, figure it out the main subject along with the key ideas, and then I'll be showing you the options. Go with this. So it talks about cheapness and its cinematic markers such as handheld camera work and low or high contrast light aren't themselves guarantors of a tone of artistic authenticity. In fact, they are often misused by filmmakers short of inspiration as badges of sincerity that take the place of actual artistry. The theatrical realism of many older, ostensibly classic movies have dated terribly and reflect the very exclusions of and compromises of the system that produced them. So, what does it talk about exactly? And if you can figure it out. Cheapness and its cinematic traits, like handheld cameras work. So, basically, what are the aspects here discussed? Filmmaking or the present and old shooting tech. Okay, Anchal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So out of all the options, what is the correct answer according to you guys? Please answer which option you would go with. And again, first step is to eliminate at least two of the options. At least two. Definitely the subject here is critique of cinematic aesthetics we are talking about. Manas, Harshit, Sanket, Yash. says nostalgia for movies as they were made in the past converges to nostalgic exaltation of their production methods. Can we rule it out, the first option?
Yes, sir.
Right? What are the aspects covered here? Cinematic makers like not cinematic markers like handheld camera work won't always sign of artistic authenticity. In fact, sometimes these things functions as an uninspired filmmakers. So can we rule out the first option? Please answer.
Yes, sir.
Right. The second, it talks about rather than imitating the style of studio era movies in a bid to achieve artistic authenticity, filmmakers need to focus on the inventive ideas and realistic themes. Can we consider this one?
Yes, we should hold it.
Yeah, we can consider this one. The next, only the brilliance and resourcefulness of a small minority. It talks about small minority of great filmmakers could overcome the hurdles posed by budget constraint of. I think this is going very out of the league. What do you say, guys?
Rule it out, sir.
Yes, sir, we can
Yeah.
rule it out.
We can rule it out. Now you are left with option number 2 and 4. According to you, what suits the best?
Sir,
Fourth
I
say-
think it's option
Yeah, option
2. Option 2.
Option 2. It says the veneration of the style and production methods of low budget movies of the studio era as the ideal aesthetic standard is misguided. I think 4 is also a very good choice. We can consider this. What do you say, Shubkirti?
Yes, so we can consider the fourth one, but selected second one as an option because it covers more of the paragraph than the fourth point, because fourth point is all about how it has been misguided. That is just one line of the paragraph, but the second point almost sums up the entire paragraph.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm not sure, sir.
no issues. Anyone else? Vishwendra, Shreya, Shantanu?
Sir, I would also go with the second one because that's the actual message of the writer, like the actual message through the entire paragraph that they're trying to give us. I think second sums it up better.
Okay. Yeah.
Sir, I think Para doesn't talk about the low budget films, I guess so.
Okay. Actually, I'm just curious to know what is that point that overrules the fourth option over the second one. Please tell whatever your perceptions are.
I think it's only talking about the presentation and the ideal aesthetic standard. They did not cover like the like the paragraph has words like genuine creativity and talent, like exceptional films. So that gives us an idea that they're also talking about the content, not just the presentation.
But if you focus here, guys, there are some keywords given like studio era, and it focuses on produced on low
Option
budgets.
is not visible. Can you please zoom out?
Sorry.
So the slide is not
Fourth
visible.
option is not visible.
Just 1 second.
Yeah,
Is-
now it's okay. Now it's okay. Yeah.
Is it okay now? Is it okay now? Everyone, please answer.
Yeah, sir, it's okay.
Yeah. So it focuses on like movies produced on low budgets, using techniques such as handheld camera work and low or high contrast light. So it talks about very, time back then. And further, there is an argument that talks about that these cinematic markers alone are not enough to claim that movie is authentic or genuine. So it focuses on the aesthetic part. Further, what says The theoretical realism of many older classic movies has aged poorly, reflecting the limitations of the system that produced them. Only a minority of exceptional filmmakers could surpass these constraints. However, critics often romanticize the style of studio era movies, treating them as an enduring aesthetic standard. This is akin to valuing Shakespeare while disregarding later playwrights for not adhering to iambic pentameter. So I'm just not convinced with the second option over the fourth one. That's why I just want to have a discussion regarding the same. Vishwendra,
So,
Rayushi, Ashna.
yeah, so where in the paragraph is it talking about authenticity of the movies and imitating the styles of the movies? It's just said that the critics romanticize the idea of studio era movies. And I don't think it's talking about copying those films.
Yeah. So it's
That's why I feel fourth is the correct option, according to me.
you would go with the fourth one. Okay. Anyone else would like to participate in the conversation? The discussion, I should say. Gaurav, Shankar, Arpita.
In the
So,
second point,
yeah, go ahead, Ashna.
thank you. In the second point, I think it's not like mentioned like what we shouldn't do.
Yeah, Ashna, please repeat.
Could you hear me now?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, so basically in the second part, the filmmakers need to focus on inventive ideas. In the whole paragraph, it isn't given that what the filmmaker should or shouldn't do. So if we were to find the true essence of the paragraph, we can choose the fourth one, as it gives the whole essence of the ideal aesthetic standard, considering the old style movies as the ideal aesthetic standard is misguided.
Yeah. And it's very explicitly saying that rather than imitating the styles of a studio era movie, and nowhere it is mentioned that it has been imitating or the things are being copied. Filmmakers need to focus on inventive, right? Everyone, please answer. So here, out of second and the fourth option, fourth is the better one. Is it clear? Please answer.
Yes, sir.
Any confusion? Shall we move further? So these are the aspects. I've just broken down all the points. You can later on go through this. Okay, so we have one more. Here is the passage along with the questions. But before seeing the options, just discuss this. So it talks about a recent study. A recent study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences has shown that high level of mathematical reasoning rests on a set of brain areas that do not overlap with the classical left hemisphere regions involved in verbal semantics. Okay. Instead, all domains of mathematics tested algebra, analysis, geometry, and topology. So it is focusing on a particular aspect, recruit a bilateral network of prefrontal and then parietal and inferior temporal regions, which is also activated when mathematicians or non-mathematicians, so basically technical or non-technical, recognize the and manipulate numbers mentally. These results suggest that high-level mathematical thinking makes minimal use of language areas and instead recruits circuits initially involving space and number. These results may explain, focus on these words, may explain why knowledge of number and space during early childhood predicts mathematical achievement. So please write down the main subject of the passage according to you what it should be. Then key ideas which are discussed here. So yes, definitely we are talking about brain areas and mathematical reasoning precisely, if I say. Further, key ideas would be like advanced mathematical reasoning. Guys, this slide is visible, yes or no?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. Advanced mathematical reasoning uses brain areas distinct from verbal language regions. First point. Then it talks about bilateral network, including prefrontal and the other aspects. These areas are also activated during mental number manipulation. Okay. And anything else? Mathematical thinking minimally involves language areas. Instead, it relies on circuits that are linked to spatial and numerical processing. I'm showing you the options. First of all, let's eliminate at least 2 of the 4. Insights in comparison between brain areas and get activated during mathematics. And it's linked to childhood knowledge. Okay, yes, great, Anchal. Ayush, what are the 2 options we can rule out, guys? It's the first one says high level mathematical expertise and basic number sense share common roots in a non-linguistic brain circuit. Can we rule it out? Or shall we hold it? I will hold this option. It is a good one,
Yes, sir.
right? Regardless of domain, algebra analysis, geometry, or topology, mathematicians recognize and manipulate numbers mentally. It says regardless. What do you say?
Should be ruled out.
So should be ruled out.
Should rule
Yeah,
it out.
we can rule it out. Third, classic left hemisphere regions involved in verbal semantics are not as well developed in mathematicians as the brain areas involving number or space. Can we consider this one?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Fourth, the mathematical achievement of an individual can be predicted based on his knowledge of numbers, space, and link. I think this can be ruled out without any problem.
Yes.
Now, first or the third one? Which option you would like to?
I have a question.
We
The
will go with
last
option 1.
the last line of the paragraph is the fourth option, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
No, but it has language too. But it has language word, right? So it can be ruled out.
Oh, it has language.
And these are the trap, right? So you have to be careful. That's why I highlighted initially, like may explain. So whenever you come across words like may or perhaps, possibly, so you have to be alert then. So the fourth is ruled out, right? There's no issue with that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. First or the third one, the best option according to you. Manas, can you please tell me your reason of opting the third option? Arpita, first.
Sir, in third option, the line is saying the classic left hemisphere region involved in verbal semantics, and the same line is written in the paragraph.
Is it the same thing or something is different there?
Sir, I think three could be ruled out because like it is like areas do not develop in left hemisphere. One second.
Take your time, take your time.
Okay, okay.
So, as
Yeah.
they say that these results suggest that high-level mathematical thinking may minimize the use of language area instead of recruiters. So here, this is like they are suggesting, and in the
Right.
third option, they are saying that it is true. So that is
Semant-
why we are
Semantics are not as well developed in mathematician as the brain areas involving number and space. So one thing, do we have any sort of comparison in the passage?
Yes.
Guys, please
No.
answer.
No, sir.
Right.
No, sir.
Yeah.
No.
If you focus the classical left hemisphere regions, which are involved in verbal semantics, right, do not overlap. This is one thing. And then further it says, instead, all domains of mathematics tested, and these domains include algebra, analysis, geometry, and topology, recruit a bilateral network of prefrontal. Then again, the names are given basically, right, particularly, which is also activated when mathematicians or non-mathematicians recognize and manipulate numbers mentally. So basically, there is no difference. So on that basis, can we rule out the third option? Please answer, guys.
Yes.
Yes, sir, we can rule it out. Yeah.
The best option we have here is the first one. Any confusion? Please answer.
No, sir. No.
Okay. Let's proceed further. Though they do not involve burning dirty fossil fuels, hydropower projects are not emission free. We are talking about hydropower projects. Often, large dams flood vast vegetated areas. As a result, the vegetation rots underwater. Eventually, this leads to the release of methane, which is a greenhouse gas 34 times as potent as CO2. In some cases, large dams can result in even more lifetime greenhouse gas emission than equivalent conventional sources. And this doesn't even include the emission resulting from the construction of such dams, cement. So these are the example of that particular general situation. Cement and equipment heavy projects that usually take several years to build. I believe it is a very easy passage. So here are the four options. Please go on. Muskan, Shukirti, Sayan, please answer, guys.
So the fourth one we should rule out.
Yeah, which option? Fourth one, right? And the reason?
So because it talks about the cost,
Okay.
which is
Not given in the passage.
Yeah.
Correct. Gas cost, nowhere it is mentioned. Hydropower is comparable, so definitely we can rule it out. What about the third or the first or the second option? Let's say third option, hydropower projects cause flooding, leading to significant greenhouse gas emission from rotting organic material. Can we consider this one?
Yes, so we can hold it.
We can
Okay,
consider
let's-
this.
Let's
First
hold this.
one can be ruled out.
And the reason? Large hydropower projects contribute more to climate change than fossil fuel plants of equivalent generating capacity. Yeah, I guess first can be ruled out, right?
Yes, sir.
So we are left with the two options, second and the third one. As large dams result in significant greenhouse gas emissions, hydropower cannot be regarded as a clean source of energy. I believe it is a very good choice. Out of the second and the third one, the best option according to you, what it can be?
So the second one.
The second
one.
Second.
Okay, so please type your answer in the chat box if you go with the second one. And why we should not consider the third one, I would like to know the reason also.
So third one is specifically talking about flooding. There are other impacts also of hydropower projects, not only flooding. And second one is talking in general about the final impact of hydropower plants. So second one it is, I think.
Yeah, so everybody is opting the second option only. Please answer.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely a right choice. According to the situation, we should go with the second option. Great. So, I'm just curious to know that whatever approach we have been following, the strategy, the methods, are these steps, methods really helping you?
Sir, definitely.
Yeah, I'm asking everyone.
Yes, sir, it's helping.
Thank you. So everything was given there. Let's proceed further with this. Go on and mention the key ideas of the passage. An ignorant mind is precisely not a spotless, empty vessel, but So whenever there is a situation like this, so whatever comes after but, that is the main part in the passage. So about the ignorant mind, what is considered is given there. It's filled with the clutter of irrelevant or misleading life experiences. This is the main part. Misleading life experiences, theories, facts, intuitions, strategies, algorithms, basically everything, heuristics, metaphors, and hunches that regrettably have the look and feel of useful and accurate knowledge. Okay. This clutter is an unfortunate byproduct of one of our greatest strengths as a species. We are unbridled, right? Pattern recognizers and profligate theorizers. Often, our theories are good enough to get us through the day, or at least to an age when we can procreate. Okay. But again, the latter part is important. Our genius for creative storytelling combined with the inability to detect our own ignorance can sometimes lead to the situation that is embarrassing, unfortunate, or downright dangerous, especially in a technologically advanced, complex, and democratic society that occasionally invest mistaken popular beliefs with immense destructive power. So it's given, reference is given there. Write down the key ideas of the passage, the main subject, and the key ideas, please. Harmful effects of an ignorant mind and guess on what leads a human towards it. Okay, great. Anything else? Everybody has to answer. Ignorant mind is not empty, it's filled with fact strategies. Okay, so Shukirti, is it the main part, main aspect? This information is just given as a reference, I guess, right?
Yes, sir.
It says this clutter is an unfortunate byproduct. Ignorance of mind, how it's caused and leads to harmful decisions. Okay. Side effect of human mind and their results. Kshaya, if we consider this option, side effect of human mind and their results, that would be too generalized term, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like too generalized to be considered.
Mhm.
Anyone? Ashna? This is on ignorant mind and its after effects. Okay. So I'm showing you the options and let's see what it is talking about. If I have to go with the detailed version of the same, I would say it talks about not exactly human mind or brain. Tell me if you are agree with me. Ignorant mind is precisely not a spotless empty vessel. That means something is there. So it is considered as a metaphor, you can also say. And is it talking about the mind or is it talking about the cognitive skills of the mind? What do you say?
So the latter one.
Everyone, please answer. Yeah. So instead of saying mind, we can consider that cognitive skills when it doesn't function properly. So let's see the options. What are the options that we can rule out here? The first, the ability to recognize patterns and creativity, formulate theories, is both the greatest strength and the greatest weakness of our species. If you consider this part, It is unfortunate byproduct of one of our greatest strengths, not weakness. What do you say? Everyone?
Yes, sir, we can rule out.
Can we rule it out? The first option, the ability to recognize pattern and creatively formulate theory is both greatness and weakness? No. Second, the clutter in the mind that stems from our storytelling ability, along with our inability to perceive our own ignorance, hampers our judgment. What do you say?
It is
Okay,
just
So let's
about
keep
one
it.
aspect, so
let's hold it. Our ignorance is compounded by our tendency to create stories around inaccurate, irrelevant, and misleading information that clutters our mind. I think it is a good option.
So
Can we consider the third option or we should rule it out?
we can consider it.
Okay. Fourth one, our tendency to weave theories out of the clutter of information stored in our minds can often lead us to truly dangerous situations. Dangerous situations, it's not mentioned anywhere. It's just talking about some unfortunate or embarrassing. Yeah, it's a downright dangerous. Yeah, so that can also be considered, especially in technologically advanced and complex democratic society. But here it is covering only one aspect, that is dangerous situation. It has not discussed the other aspects, embarrassment and unfortunate. What do you say?
Rule out.
Yeah, sir, it's very narrow, I think.
Okay, so second or the third, according to you, what should be the best option for us?
Third one should be the correct answer.
Third one, the reason.
Reason.
So if we compare fourth with the 2 and 3, in 2 and 3, they are not giving us any effect, like what is happening because of this cluster.
Okay. In the third one, right?
Yeah, 2 and 3 both are not showing proper effect. But as in fourth, I understand it is a narrow, like not totally giving the whole summary of, like exact thing, but still I feel like fourth should be kept in an option.
Fourth should be considered. You sure? Anyone else who is opting the fourth option? I'm just curious to know the reason behind that. Arpita, Gopika, Gaurav, Manas, Muskan, Vishwendra, Shankar, Nirupam. Hello.
Sir, I was thinking to, but then I stopped because if we focus on the last sentence, which is, but are genius for creative storytelling. So it talks about this weaving theories, the creative storytelling. That is one part. But combined with our inability to detect our own ignorance, that's not mentioned there. So I ruled it out.
Mhm. Anyone else? Because third option suggests that stories, if I talk about that perspective, compound ignorance ignores the ability to recognize this aspect. So for me, the best option would be the second option here. And if anybody has any confusion, so we can have a discussion regarding the same. Tell me, guys.
So I have a doubt here that how are we saying that the clutter that is in our mind is because of the storytelling ability?
What it talks about, filled with the clutter of irrelevant or misleading life experiences, theories, facts, if you focus on this part. Then there is a word given heuristic. metaphors, and hunches. So from that part only, this one another term representing the previous ones only has been taken. What do you say? Intuition, strategies, algorithms, metaphors. What do you say? Hunches that regrettably have the look and feel of useful and accurate knowledge. Please answer me, guys. Inability to perceive our own ignorance hampers our judgment.
I think it is right because when we talk about in the first sentence only, when we talk that it is the byproduct of one of our greatest strengths, then when we go down, we see that the greatest strength is our genius for creative storytelling. So it actually does stem from the storytelling ability.
Right. So I believe I believe everybody is clear with this point. Please answer me.
Yes, sir.
Shall we proceed further?
Yes.